Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So, another maintenance has passed me. I have another maintenance update video for you guys today. But before jumping out of new here, as always, I'm Chrono. I primarily cover PSO2 content. Would much appreciate subscribe as we're getting toward the 10K mark, hopefully, by the end of this year. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into that. So, here we are over on the NGS site. And in case this was your first video with us today, you're probably thinking to yourself, why would I sit here and listen to this person read me this information? You're absolutely correct. Scroll on down, grab the info from links that are provided in the video description, or head on over to ngs.ps2.com if you don't want to wait for one of these videos to go live, and just scroll down, look for the stuff with the red dot that usually is the important, newer stuff. Pull those articles up and read through it yourself. All I ask is if you grab the information from us, please toss a like on the video. It helps it a ton. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and go over the stuff that we have today, because I don't think there's a whole lot, actually. Oh, I lied. Leciel Exploration is updated today. So we have the Leciel Exploration update. New elements added to Leciel Exploration, enemy levels increasing, as well as new sector and player ability buffs, along with Ruined Griffin being added in. We also have the upgrade for our units. So this is going to from the 10 to 11 star variant. This is going to give us extra power. Keep that in mind. So the Trastasis armor is here. Pretty solid upgrade all around. So this is going to be the first time the armor itself is going to upgrade into one that's going to give us more power. Everything else pretty much before this has not been giving us any power. So it's just been, utility stats. We're now actually getting extra power with these, like an extra 0.5 power for each unit. So pretty solid, pretty cool update. And that's pretty much it. It's just going to be the Leciel update along with our armor update itself. So go ahead and get into Leciel, get to grinding those bosses out, get to getting that armor, so on and so forth. Looks like they've also updated the suspension of the AC shop feature gifts. So there was an issue where if you went into the sale X section of the AC shop to see what the sale itself was, you would get EX cubes. That was the intended use of it. If you did that and went to change blocks and did it again, you'd get more X cubes apparently. So you could do this and cycle every single block and get X cubes over and over and over again. Well, of course, this is broken, it was not intentional, so they turned this off, and now I guess they've since fixed it, and they're providing a some compensation with some X cubes. Yeah, fun stuff. Like I mentioned in previous videos, I've mentioned on stream beforehand, if people can find a way to break something, they're going to break it, and they're going to take advantage of it as soon as they possibly can. So not surprising they turned this off. I'm surprised it just took so long to get it turned back on. They might have just waited for the update itself to turn it back on, and that's just kind of how I wanted to go about it. That's all there is on the site. Let's go ahead and get into game and take a look at what we have access to. All right, out of the tunnel of infinite loading, we are now in game. We'll take care of the usual mail stuff that happens. Get that out of the way, and let's take a look and see what we have that's new. First and foremost, we can take a look at the units. It should be right over here. We know what the stats are for them. I don't know if, I think the utility stats on them stay the same. I don't know if those change at all. I believe they stay the same, but we'll have to see. All right, so we have our units pulled up here. We can take a look really quick. No, they actually do change. So it looks like you get a bump in utility stats as well. The VO armors previously were giving you 8 PP. These will give you 10 now. And the Vita gives you 100 HP. Before I believe they gave you 80. So that's actually pretty dope. It does look like they upgrade. So I'm considering maybe going with the hybrid this time around. The PP and HP, meaning I won't lose as much PP. I'll only lose 9 overall, which isn't that intense when it comes down to it, but it does mean that we do get some more utility stat, which is pretty nice. And the armors actually look pretty cool too. Lightning effect's pretty dope. I don't think it's going to do anything for your character, just cool for the little model here, but overall still pretty cool looking armor. I dig it. It looks like what we need is, let's see here. Oh yeah, there's about a billion different ways to build these, it looks like. Looks like you need 50 of the Activance 3s per unit, so 150 total, more or less exactly the same as the weapon to get a full suite. So pretty dope. Glad to see that here. We'll have to grind those out, and that's likely going to be coming. My guess is from Leciel. We can go ahead and take a look at Leciel really fast and see if it even shows it. Yeah, there it goes. Activance 3s. So Activance 3s will come from Leciel. Looks like they also have the Verschmelz Almaty CV. Interesting. And then, of course, TWAVs will drop from there as well, in case you're someone who wants to pick up a TWAV. Still pretty solid for the tech classes. So still pretty solid for Force and still pretty solid for Tector. especially if you want to go ahead and provide buffs to your team. And it's actually worth having at least one person using a TWAV, especially if you're going for more optimized runs. So definitely a good weapon to still have access to, at least if you're looking at it from more of a party play perspective. Outside of that, let's take a quick look around. So we do, oh, this is gonna be a big one for me. First off, this is back again, so we can come in here, we can go ahead and grab our free gift for looking, but get the gift and get out. Do not fall for the trap of looking at what's in there, thinking you might end up buying it. Next is, this was big for us, so the new extra AC support select is here, meaning we have the new Larze units. And interesting, it is, oh no, never mind. I was gonna say it's only parfaits, but it's not only parfaits. As we expected, it is everything and only, oh wow. You know, I thought they were gonna go a different route with this and be kind of annoying about it, but they didn't. They actually went probably the best case scenario in this situation. This is really, really good. Not only is there a Larze for every type, but they made it so it's just the Larze stuff on the scratch. Now they could have taken the route of putting the Larze and the other Augment together with this one, just because it's a situation where they're both relevant and you would expect them to do something like that, but they actually decided to do this separately completely, which means if you're pulling on this scratch, you're only getting Larze stuff, meaning that for the people who need to get these are going to be a lot less expensive, meaning, or because the scratch isn't bloated with a bunch of Anadis that people mostly already have. But yeah, it looks like Larze just has a variant of all the same that Anadis have, so that's pretty dope. And it looks like it's going to be, if we look at Larze Parfait, Def Parfait, looks like 6.5% potency and 1% potency floor. So the defs are just providing 1% potency floor. If you don't have a def, you're not getting potency floor. So it is definitely going to be very, very useful to pick these up. You're definitely going to want them for your setup. Now, this one's big for me, is to see what is in the prize selector and to see if I actually get to play the way I want to. And it looks like I am out of luck, unfortunately. So there are no S augments in the prize selector this time around, or in the scratch count bonus, excuse me, which is a massive, massive L for me personally. That means that my build will only be 19 out of 20 unless I substitute out a bit of def. So bummer, major bummer, but is what it is. It's just one of those things you're gonna have to deal with, and we'll see how it goes. We'll likely substitute out one of our Larze defs for one of the other Larzes, so it's still gonna be pretty powerful overall, but we are gonna be missing out, unfortunately, on the absolute best case scenario. So bummer. It is. I mean, again, we'll wait until the next scratch comes around. The next thing that we have that we can hope for is the SG support select. So whenever the SG support select rolls around, which is like probably not for another month or two, we'll be able to rectify everything then. But until that happens, we are pretty much going to have to deal with what we've got. And I mean, again, it's not the end of the world. We also have some compensation with campaign items. So let's go ahead and do those. So we have the 30x cubes for compensation for the shop itself being down, which was down for what, a week, and you get 2 per day. That's 14, basically over double the compensation of what we would have gotten, so that's fine. Follow and repost campaign, that did well. Unless people were like, hey, how would you know who followed and who reposted or whatever? It doesn't work that way. It's if the goal is reached, everyone gets it. So you're encouraged to do it that way. The goal is reached, but if the goal is reached, everyone gets it. And then of course we get the commemorative giveaway for Central Collection 3, which is the poster. So pretty cool stuff there. We also just got 4 silver scratches. New M.A.R.S record. Okay, cool. Just making sure we're not missing anything as far as that goes. Let me do a quick once over before we round out the video. All right, it looks like we've covered everything we need to go ahead and take a look at. I'm gonna round out the video by doing our silver Big Bang scratch pulls. Chat always gets the gold ones. They always get everything. So we'll do a couple silvers. This is the, show YouTube at the very least that, stream relic isn't really a thing. They only see the clips, right? Like I just got 10 endemios. That's pretty terrible. They only see the clips of like me getting spooned and things like that. They don't see everything in between. And of course the narrative is put in the perspective. 10 star gems isn't bad. That, I get super lucky all the time. That is not the case. Okay. All right. I'm not that spooned. We're not that carried with luck. And an augment protection. Some might think that's very lucky. These aren't as useful as you think anymore. At least not until like the next big set of units come around. And even then, that still might not be that useful. So, and then a single beta reactor. So We got 100k. We got some star gems. We got a augment, or we have an augment protect and some endemia. So not too amazing, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of today's update video. If there's anything I missed, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more. As always, thank you to the channel members. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, my friends. Peace out.